Hello again. I have decided to make something different. Since I don't have much material to make a video about, and I'm not a very imaginative or ingenious person, I have made a compilation. Highly requested by nobody, a montage of the stingy remarks and the address of the developer of Yandere Simulator and its main artist. Let's begin. An anime stand. What can anyone possibly learn anything from anime? Maybe for Alex's mind it's a legitimate way to learn something, but I can't imagine anyone with a decent, productive life taking it this seriously. A drawer. Just as expected, it's still full of underwear. If Alex seriously looks into selling the game, this will bite him into his sagging behind. I personally don't mind this. It doesn't hurt anyone, except my innocence, but people in the Western society are huge Puritans when it comes to things about girls and conventional beauty. There are many different dignifying ways to wrap this into. I know Alex is a special boy who had to be homeschooled, so he doesn't know much about schools in the first place, so we can let it pass, but the occult club is just exceptional idea. It could have been a secret club hidden somewhere outside, or a secret clique which you had to earn acceptance into. This is what happens with your brain if you take manga as a substitute for a school book. Section for martial arts should be located somewhere in the gym. Alex may not know it, but you get sweaty doing physical activities like that, so students need to use showers. Alex, being the only man managing the development, is also the game's art director, and as an art director he should be knowledgeable about technical aspects of graphics. But he doesn't know about such thing as textile density, and this asset shows this hole in his competence. Not that we already know his competence is pretty much a slice of a Swiss cheese. Thin and full of large holes. Now that textures are at place, I'm not satisfied with how hard curvature looks. I'll blur it to make it look softer, like Alex's porcelain skin. Why Alex picks other models as references I have no idea. I can only speculate his mind is fried with anime and video games so much he forgot the real world exists and you have plenty to take from it. Look at the sharpness of the texture for speakers and compare it to other pieces. The tower particularly looks as unappealing as the visage of its developer. I'll select each second edge of the ring, and then collapse them. Collapsing will merge vertices on the ends of edges together. Smooth vertex normals will conceal rough geometry. If only we could conceal Alex's doughy chubby face just as good. You know, Alex could try his luck at acting. He's already pretty expressive and passionate. Some theatrical classes won't hurt him. There is a market for exceptionally unattractive actors. The successful career of Benedict Cumberbatch is a prime example. The texture layer will be set to lighten mode with a dark mask. I don't need this map to be applied uniformly all over the place. For that, I'll paint over the mask with a soft brush. Soft and subtle, like Alex's abdominal muscles. Next thing on the list, adding details and geometry. I'll make a button and carve holes with Boolean operations. You may think to yourself, wouldn't that increase the polygon count? Don't worry, in my hands, the polygon count is safer than our senpai's virginity. Trash can, my favorite item from this collection. It may be a future home to some people when fame and Patreon will run dry and no one would want to hire you because of a very long record of embarrassing shenanigans that would make even Walmart turn down the resume. But let's talk about topology. Level up social skills by playing video games to be as charismatic as Alex. After being done harassing everyone in the school, I was investing my points into psychology, hoping it will boost interactions with other students. Only to be reminded that Alex is a very professional, competent, diligent, and productive game developer. All the efforts to make game as unexploitable as possible fall flat, like Alex's ass after sitting in front on his computer all day. Empty. Just like the promises of the developer. And for the dessert. A high-calorie dessert. Bonus with mulberry. Inside the art room, I'm greeted with the horrible sight of a grotesque parody on Mona Lisa. Mulberry may fancy herself as an artist, but she's not even mediocre, she's simply awful, and fat. Substance Painter works just like Photoshop, layers have different blend modes. So I changed blending to lighten and decrease opacity, to make the noise very subtle as Mulberry's skills. The texture is squeezed harder than the space between Mulberry's gargantuan buttocks. You may have noticed the poster on the wall is different. That's because I could not keep working with the distraction of an awful drawing, so I have changed the face of a cow to the face of a more graceful animal. Speaking of chubby faces, after Yandere Simulator is done, there are not many other prospects for Alex and Mulberry. However, they are both more than qualified to represent a French multinational tire manufacturer. And they won't even have to wear a costume. After placing all the parts on the UV coordinates, I get waist expanse in between the patches, just like inside Mulberry's stomach. You probably expect me to make another joke at the expense of the main artist of the Yandere Simulator. Honestly, I'm getting tired of running gags around Mulberry. You could run marathons around her if you'd want. By the way, some people had been speculating there is beef between Mulberry and your dearest host. I want to clear things up about this matter. There is no beef going on, in fact, it's nothing but pork. Greasy pork. I wonder sometimes, how do people like Alex and Mulberry fail to improve over the years? I can only speculate. Are they just lazy? Are they deficient? Do they have egos too big for their little minds? Or it could be the space-time simply shrinks around their bums as they expand. Garbage bag. Pretty convincingly made a bag of trash. By the way, making such a model may be a bit harder than you think if you don't know the right and easy method. Nothing much to say about it, other than it's very representative of our dearest senpai and his highly professional crew. It's also a good representation of Mulberry's gracious silhouette and artistic ability. After performing the merge, it goes down to 344. It's not a big deal, but it stacks up when the object is used multiple times. However, the Yandere Simulator project has much more pressing problems, such as its developers and lead artists' heavy immovable buttocks. I'll also need to join the gamer club to boost my social skills. If only being a gamer in real life could give you some essential skills like that, Alex wouldn't be a game developer, and Mulberry would be a good artist. With all the boosters on, the gossiping eats away our target's reputation faster than Mulberry does her cake. While you watch me gaslighting the students, I'm supposed to give a witty and stingy remark to fill the air, but to be honest, I don't really have anything to say. So I'll just call Mulberry fat and leave it at that. Well, it's going to be a piece of cake, which I will swallow as if I'm talentless uneducated artist who works for a 30-year-old man-child who wasted best years of his life on developing an asset-flipping weeb game, whose audience managed to grow out of it long before the release. Now you may be waiting for me to crack a mandatory Mulberry joke, but I didn't come up with anything, so the only thing that's going to crack is the floor beneath her. That was all. Don't forget to leave your important, informed, and invaluable opinion in the comment section. Thank you for watching.